see Bagunas or Mark Espejo, you can see already two blockers just awaiting for them to take that leap and make that hit.
Always, and you want to see Retamar having that connection as well with Abdilia, who is also inside the court in the first set for John Vic de Guzman. You want to see him also try and get his touches and see if they can find that connection with Retamar or Francis Saura to get an attempt in today's game, so that it just creates a sort of gel or fluidity in their movements inside the court.
And now Thailand will be serving. Strong serve there. Setting up again. This time around, Bagunas gets that cross-court hit. Avoiding the double blocks of Team Thailand. 1-0. Ooh, strong serve. Reception was good though. Quesada with a soft touch. And back-to-back points for Team Philippines to start off set 2.
Lucky break there for the Philippines, getting that Brian Bagunas from that service. He had to run all the way to dive for that ball, and it was a lucky placed shot. Not that he really meant to do it, but it's 1 point for him nonetheless.
And hopefully the streak continues on for Team Philippines. Combination play right there by Team Thailand.
The blockers of the Philippines too focused on Quesada, not really seeing that there's also Somkane in the other side of the court that can also put that ball down.
Somkane, you know, scoring at least 7 in their previous game against Myanmar. Free ball given away by Thailand. From the back row, I think off speed by Bagunas. I think they were all expecting a stronger hit. But here we go again, as we mentioned a while ago, the volleyball intelligence of Brian Bagunas.
The players of Thailand, I think, trying to point at Brian Bagunas. Rex and Tal coming in today's game for the very first time. They were pointing at Brian Bagunas, saying that I think he crossed the line. They were trying to argue.
3-0 run for Team Philippines. And you can see the crowd at Phil Sports Arena rejoicing. This time around from Mark Espejo of the blockers of Thailand. 2 of them.
Amazing set there by Brian Bagunas. I mean, it was a jump set from the back row, setting it up to the front row. Amazing combination there by Brian Bagunas and Mark Espejo.
But Kitsara stops the bleeding for Thailand with a point. But still, 2-point lead for Team Philippines. 2 serving 4. And that's outside. Service error for Thailand. A very rare one.
With a team like Thailand, Denise, you don't notice the errors that they commit just because they produce so much numbers. They get themselves up in the scoreboard, not really focusing on the errors of their opponent. That's why whenever they commit an error or two, mostly on their serves, hindi mo masyadong pinapansin kasi pumupuntos naman din talaga sila.
Speaking of puntos, ito na nga si Quesada. Tuloy-tuloy ang puntos para sa Team Thailand. Just soaring up in the air a while ago to get that point. Espejo with a receive, back to him for that attack. Another combination play, but we're seeing better coverage. Ooh, quick hit by Malabunga. And ito na nga, Michelle, yung sinasabi mo, Kim Malabunga needing to step it up for Team Philippines, but I guess that's, you know, an error.
We didn't see that one, but I think he touched the net and a violation was called on him. He was trying to point and say, I think the ball died first, but first referee called a violation on him. Lucky break there coming from Quesada, giving us 1 more point. 2 points up now, Team Philippines.
And now it seems like the tides have turned when it came to service errors. I think Thailand has 2 or 3, if I remember correctly. Mark Espejo serving. Quick hit, but great floor coverage dodge there by Ricky Marcos. This time around, doon naman sa likod. Walang bantay.
Nobody home there to cover that attempt. That ball was high. Ranon Abdilia too far away to get to that ball.
And Thailand catches up to Philippines. 6-5. Soft touch there. A long rally. Bagunas. But an error. Point for Thailand to tie our game 6-6. Thailand finally catching up.
Costly errors there for both teams. Mistimed hit there also by Brian Bagunas. A very rare one, Denise, to see Brian Bagunas not knowing what set is coming at him.
Oh, back row attack. Again. This time off speed by Ranan Abdilia. Also stepping up for this set, Ranan Abdilia. Lead us back with the Philippines, 1 point. So that's 7-6. Inside by number 4. Pop.
Firepower is just coming in all directions from Team Thailand. Back row, front row. You never know who's going up the spike because Charon Suk is just spreading out the offense and the points to all his players.
Well, when you've got that many options, why not?
At the set's first technical timeout,
And for the first time, it's the Philippines who will be leading. Fault is called. Let's see.
Current score is 8-7 and they're trying to call a foot fault on Brian Bagunas. Once again, we've seen this a while ago, and at least if part of a foot is still on the line, it is not successful. A foot fault will be called.
Technical timeout, the score is 8-7 in favor of the Philippines.
And we go back again to the first technical timeout.
Crossover from weekend warrior to workhorse.
They're coming all hyped up and dressed up. Of course, also coming from different sides of, the Southeast Asian nations. We saw a while ago from Thailand watching the game. But look at that, the amount of support and people watching at the Phil Sports Arena.
Tickets are always sold out, Denise. I've been receiving so many text messages and calls trying to ask for tickets, and I'm like, guys, wala akong makuha. Ubos talaga, especially if it's here in Metro Manila, namely at the Phil Sports Arena.
And just came at the perfect time with the Phil Sports Arena being renovated to accommodate all of our interested and excited viewers for this Southeast Asian Games. Going back to the ball game, Philippines with a 1-point lead. And I think that's a touch ball. That's a point again for Thailand, tying it up 8-8. Courtesy again of one of their high scorers, Somkane Kitsada. Number 12 serving, Paklikiao, Anuchit. Back row attack. Point for Team Philippines.
Scary collision there from Jack Rapop and Charon Suk.
Let's look at this replay once again. Ooh. That was close. Set, quick hit by Quesada. Straight into the libero.
Charon Suk's set to Quesada is so high in the middle position, and he's just so tall that he can get to it and spike so high over the block. And he also has an angle. He never just goes to one spot or spike straight, so it's so hard to go up against a spiker like Quesada.
And finally, Rex Intal getting a point for Team Philippines. He didn't see action in the previous game against Indonesia. So you can see Rex, I'm pretty sure gigil na gigil maglaro at makakuha ng puntos.
going in for Francis Saura, trying to contribute also in the middle position of the Philippines.
Pero here, bawian ng puntos ang nakikita natin ngayon mga kapamilya between Philippines and Thailand because we're tied again at 10-10. Somkane serving on your screens. Again, one of their high scorers, Quisada. Oh, and again, another regalo for him, but great save there. Oh, the effort. The Team Philippines is going after all those quick hits by Quesada. And finally, they end up with a point.
Ricky Marcos all over that rally, and Quesada had 3 attempts to put that ball away. 2 of those were gift balls, and you know, just a scrambling play for the Philippines. Great defense there. I'm sure everybody is hyped up.
Pero yun na nga, binawi ulit ng Thailand. But man, what a rally that was. The effort of the libero Kalingking for Philippines. Just diving, getting that ball. At the same time, you saw the prowess of Quesada. Just wow.
And Sharon Zook going to him over and over again.
Yeah.
Diba? Pinapabawi talaga siya. Pero not enough to go up against Kalingking, and just too much aggressiveness there on the floor defense.
And there you have it, another service error from Quesada. 12 serving 11, Mark Espejo on your screens and on the service area. And outside, too strong again. Losing count of how many times we're on a deadlock just for set 2, and we haven't even reached the second technical timeout just yet.
Exciting second set. Great rallies here from both teams.
Ooh, joust at the net. Great save there by Retamar. Ooh. Bagunas. But that's outside. Point awarded to Thailand.
We hear the crowd now in the Phil Sports Arena. You know, something is probably happening in the court that we're not able to see. You know, when men go up against men, there's a little tension, especially now that it's a tight game between Thailand and the Philippines.
The power again of Bagunas. Binawi niya yun eh.
May konting stare down din
Yeah.
lang nangyayari dito between Brian Bagunas and the blockers of Thailand.
He's trying to prove something.
If it
Targeting
helps.
the libero of Thailand. Making a statement, Brian Bagunas. That's inside. Jakrapop. 14 serving 13. Look at that. Back set. Avoiding the block of Bagunas. And service error again. Point for Philippines. Joshua Tamar seeing a lot of action here in our Southeast Asian Games men's volleyball. The future. Ooh. Point. I guess that was an error from Team Thailand.
Foot fault violation from Jakrapop stepping on that attack line. If you're coming from the back row, Denise, and you want to attack, you can land in the front line or in the front row, but you cannot step upon ascending.
Again, a lot of errors that Thailand is having. What do you think is causing that, Michelle? Like, usually we saw more composed Thailand in the first set, but here you have it with the Philippines leading for second technical timeout.
Will be now the mindset and, of course, the crowd. Of course, you're in a home country, the opponent's home country. So it's probably going to affect what's going on to your mind. And yung gigil, nakikita mo lumalabas na sa Thailand.
16-14. Make that 17-14. The lead continues. Filipinos just cheering for Team Philippines.
This is the time that Team Philippines really has to step up and take control in today's game and not add on into the scoreboard of Thailand now that they are committing errors and giving us free points.
Ooh, great serve there by Retamar, but the free ball will be given by Thailand. Marco setting it up. And a soft touch. Nakuha ng Thailand. Back row attack. Inside. Again, Jack Rapop scoring for Thailand.
Wasted opportunity there. Free ball already given to the Philippines. And you know, when you receive a free ball, you always have to let the back row take it. And being a setter, just run to the front and take the second ball. Set up a play for your team.
2-point lead by Philippines. Abdilia. And a long rally here. Retamar, balik kay Abdilia, pero blocked by Thailand. Ball is still alive. Bagunas will be giving away a free ball. Quesada. And hindi na nakuha yung bola after that save by Kalingking.
But he was there. Kalingking was there. The ball did go up. But probably nobody expecting a spike from Quesada would go up and not touch the floor.
You can see Rex Intal and Ranran trying to scramble for that second ball. Tamar, quick hit. Rex Intal, I think 2-3 points right now. 2 points.
Quality minutes for Rex Intal. Great connection there with Josh Retamar. And you see,
the angle also.
The angles was there. Quesada was there for that block, but a smart move by Intal.
And a service ace. Back-to-back points for Team Philippines, and you're seeing the frustration on your screens. The girlfriend of Rex Intal, Shasha Mendoza.
Timeout, Thailand.
As of course, this one, off the block hit by Bagunas. 5-point lead, Michelle, for Philippines. I think this is the biggest so far. 4-point lead, rather.
Grabe yung angas na nakikita natin dito sa second set. Hindi natin to nakita sa first set, Denise. At yun yung nakakaiba sa Philippines ngayon. It's how they are playing right now with so much confidence. And that 1 point that they gave to Thailand will hopefully be taken back by the Philippines in today's rally.
And you were right.
I called it.
Speaking things into existence, Michelle Gumabaw.
You're welcome.
You mentioned a while ago, Ranan Abdilia, they stepped up kay Malabunga. Bawian yung point na yun.
Binigay ng Thailand, and you've been mentioning, Denise, the errors that they've been committing, and now is the time to take advantage.
And Josh Retamar also very much taking advantage. 23-18.
Timeout, Thailand.
Again, a timeout will be called by Thailand. You can see them quite frantic already after the spree that Philippines has been on for quite some time.
Once again, this is why it is so important, especially if you're the host country, for everybody to go and watch, because you see how the crowd is just boosting the confidence of our players and just setting up the atmosphere in today's game. Not that Thailand is a rookie team that they will get affected na ganun-ganun lang, but you see that it's affecting them mentally because of all the errors in the second.
Athletics and aquatics, again, talagang galing natin ito. Service error there by Ranan Abdilia. You know, he quickly admits it's his fault. So hopefully the momentum still stays with Team Philippines. 19 serving 23, Quesada on the service area. Great first ball. Ooh, a joust at the net. But Thailand is victorious. Kunmi Kantapat versus Josh Retamar.
This is what you get if you want to go up against a 6'8" ball such as Kunmi Kantapat. Without the high vertical jump, Josh Retamar cannot penetrate that ball. Have to really read the block quickly to get that point.
And here you have it. Captain of the men's volleyball team, John Vic de Guzman, enters the court for Team Philippines. It's now a 3-point lead for Philippines. Quesada. Ooh, strong blocking there. And a quick hit by Malabunga once again. scoring to lead the Philippines into set point.
Great decision by Josh Retamar to go to Malabunga. He knows that the players will go to either Brian Bagunas, and great decision there just to go, and it was a point for us.
Oh, and again, back-to-back points for Kim Malabunga. Yun naman, finally, regalo para kay Malabunga.
Great setup by Jessie Lopez. Quality minutes for all the substitutions that Coach Dante put in.
And Philippines able to win a set over Thailand, and the crowd going wild, just ecstatic over that. Inabangan ni Kim Malabunga. And the crowd roaring, as well as Kim just rejoicing after that point. And Team Philippines will be able to snag a set.